welcome to my channel. My name is Mayra Alejandra. Today I'm doing a video talking about my take on trends. And while I do that, I'm going to do my makeup. So this is kind of like a get ready with me. I just learned how to do like a bronzy type of look. In the past, whenever I would try to achieve that look, I would always end up looking kind of orange or yellow or just not bronzy at all. But I've been doing some practicing, and I happen to really like the way that this makeup has been turning out. So I'm gonna show you how I achieve it. I'll try my best to remember to mention the products that I'm using, but if I happen to miss it, which I probably will, I'll just be sure to include it somewhere on the screen and or in the description of this video. So if you want to hang out with me for a little bit, if you'd like to maybe grab a snack, grab a drink, grab your makeup if you want to do your makeup with me. But yeah, so let's get into the topic of trends. Okay, so I only have moisturizer on right now, and I'm going to use a little bit of this Phytosurgeon's Verdant Force Field, and I really have been loving the way that my skin sits on top of this. So I do have to mention, this one is a little bit runnier and it's not how it's supposed to look. I was actually contacted by Jason, and he is one of the co-founders, if I'm not mistaken, from Phytosurgeons. I was mistaken. Jason is the founder, but they are a team of two. They are Asian owned and LGBTQ plus owned. So there you go. He emailed me to let me know that he had gotten word that some of the Verdant Force Fields had gotten damaged in transit because of the heat wave that's going on. So many of us who received a certain batch of the Verdant Force Field ended up with a really runny version of it. And he just wanted to make sure that we were getting the full experience of the Verdant Force Field, which includes the texture. He did reassure me that this one, the one that I have been using, is still totally safe to use. It's nothing happened to the formulation, that it's a little bit runnier. So I received my new one in the mail, and that's so generous of them to have done that, to just send me a new one. This is what it actually should look like. So yeah, I've been enjoying this. I do want to just try to not bring it into the center of my face, because I am a little bit more on the oilier side, and this does give some slip to the skin. I think this product would be really great for somebody who has more of like a drier skin type. So this is a restorative moisturizer with green tea, licorice root, centella, PHAs, and all kinds of other great ingredients. I can maybe put the ingredient highlights and what it is that they do on the screen here. And this is from their website. So the topic at hand, trends, right? I'm just gonna start doing my makeup. Okay. So when it comes to beauty and fashion, why is it that we put so much stock into how others perceive us? Makeup and fashion, to me, both are kind of fair game. Do you know what I'm saying? As long as you're not hurting anybody, although technically speaking, us following any trend is actually hurting the environment because of overconsumption and its effects on the environment, but that's a different topic for a different video. Let me reel that existential dread back in. It's ever present. Yeah, I feel like it's also really constricting to limit yourself to a certain way of dressing or wearing makeup. I feel like you can follow trends and remain in that lane if you so choose to, but it may not be someone else's intention to do that. Oh, I forgot to shake this guy up, sorry. So to me, obviously, I mean, I feel like I say this in every other video, but I truly enjoy makeup. It helps me feel creative, helps me feel cute and confident, and it's a way in which I choose to express myself. While I may not make it a point to follow certain trends, because I do have preferences after all, it doesn't mean that I'm looking at someone else who may follow the trends that I don't like and be thinking to myself that they're wrong for following such trends. And also, no one forces us to follow trends, you know? Again, when it comes to beauty and fashion, it's our choice what we follow and how we do it. So, for instance, dewy skin or matte or satin or natural finish, the more that we play with makeup, the more that we try out different methods and techniques that make us feel our best. And that, I feel like, is part of the fun, that you try out different trends to see what suits you and what makes you feel your best. If you try dewy skin and you end up not liking it, it means that you don't like it. And that's okay. Again, that's the point. You find different methods, different ways to do your makeup or to wear a certain item of clothing the way that makes you feel the most comfortable and confident. Let's just let people vibe. You know, I guess what I'm getting at is how it can sometimes be a little, I don't think the word is annoying, because it's not that serious, I promise you. But I don't know that I appreciate the types of videos that say trends that I wish would go away. You know what I'm saying? Because just because you don't like the trend doesn't mean that it's wrong or that people shouldn't participate in it. So again, I happen to really like dewy skin, and my skin type is a little more on the oilier side. It's combination, but a little more oily. Do I end up a little shiny at the end of the day? Of course. Because of the way that I do my makeup and because my skin type just is naturally oilier. But am I going to stop doing my makeup the way that I want to do it? No. I happen to prefer an oilier situation than dry skin, because dry skin for me is a lot more uncomfortable and a lot more damaging than oily skin. But again, in my that's for me. I have to reiterate, that's my opinion. When I get oily, luckily for me, I'm no longer suffering from clogged pores or anything like that. But if my skin gets really dry, which it happens usually around the winter, will end up with really itchy, flaky skin that ends up clogging my pores then, and then leaving me with scars on my face. So that's why, again, I choose to use products that will give me a little more moisture. Although I do try to find like a sweet spot, you know what I mean? Not out here like intentionally looking like a greasy mess, but sometimes the right products and the right product combinations are hard to come by. You know, they're tricky to figure out. You also have to take into consideration your environment and how that also affects how your makeup looks. Not to mention, everybody's body is different. Some products may work for me in a combination oily skin type here in the Midwest. The same may not be true for someone who's oily, combination oily in the East Coast or West Coast. And furthermore, I do have to acknowledge that some trends can be harmful. For example, when certain body types are trendy, you know, that in and of itself it just sounds wrong, especially when a certain group of people or certain other body types are looked down on or excluded from the trends, or whatever's cool. And I also think that if somebody uses makeup and certain techniques to change a certain feature of themselves, but do it from a place of not liking or accepting a certain part of yourself, that's also not cool. And I'm talking to my brown girls and other people of color. If we're trying to change, for example, like a facial feature of ours that is prominent among our bloodline, or you get what I'm saying, right? If we're trying to change a certain feature because we've been made to believe that what we already have is not good enough or isn't beautiful, then stop, because that's not true. That I feel like following these trends of making your nose look a certain way because you haven't learned to appreciate that part of you, that can be harmful, and harmful for others around you who may be looking to you as someone who they want to emulate. There is that other part of that conversation where I feel like makeup that is done because you learned a new technique and you happen to like the way that it makes you look, then that's the funnest way to do makeup, in my opinion. So I, for one, have a rounder face, and I've been trying to learn how to contour, and I think I may have gotten somewhere here. Because, I just wanted to try it out and see how it looked on me. And I wanted to give it my best shot, so I practiced. But I feel like I have to be clear, right? Like, it's not because I don't like my face as it is or my skin as it is. I like my face without makeup. Just give me a little moisturizer and I'm good to go. But if I want it to stay looking a certain way, then why would I even bother with makeup, But that's kind of where I'm getting at, and I will continue my thoughts, but I have to do my eyebrows, and I can't do my eyebrows and talk at the same time, so be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and did my eyebrows and I primed my lids. And I'm just gonna go in with my bronzer and start putting in a little color. So yeah, apparently I have strong feelings about trends. When I was in high school, it was hard for me to be one of like the cool kids because I just couldn't afford to dress a certain way, like to be trendy. And I vividly remember an old friend of mine in high school, she like worded it exactly as I was thinking it. Like, I remember her saying, yeah, well, I can't afford to be trendy, so I'm just gonna wear whatever my mom buys me. I remember that because me too, girl. Me too. So that's another thing that I feel like, yeah, it annoys me. It annoys me about trends is it's how if you're not following a certain trend, then you're not cool enough. That's more of like the younger crowd. Right now, I could not care less about what people think of the way that I dress or the way that I combine my outfits or, any of that. Truly, don't care. But I feel like it did take me this long to come to that realization. Also, I know I'm not finished with my face yet, but this contouring is making me feel pretty good. Sometimes it comes out great, other times not so much. So what I used was the Salt New York Sculpt and Bronze Cream Tint Pro in the shade Taupe. It's a really nice, I want to say it's more neutral brown that works beautifully for contouring. And right now I'm just putting a little bit of my highlighter on the lids just to give myself a little shimmer. But yeah, all of this to say, when it comes to makeup and fashion, let's just all come to an agreement that it is a personal choice and a form of self-expression. And also, none of our business how someone else chooses to do their makeup, wear their clothes, if they feel good in it. I think everybody should do whatever makes them feel good. Wear things the way it makes you feel like your best. One of the things that my mom would always tell me, and I feel like my mom is the one person that I can ask, and I know that she'll always like be sincere. I'll ask her, you know, like, should I buy this? Like, is this to this or is this to that? And you know, she'll ask me, do you like it? I'm like, yeah, I do. Tú póntelo, mija. You know, like, you wear it. Then if that's the case, if you like it, then you wear it. She always adds a, y a ti que te valga madre. I guess I was kind of triggered by a recommendation. Well, actually not a particular recommendation on YouTube, but it's happened before, several recommendations of videos that are speaking about trends that are no longer in, or trends that I wish would go away, or trends that I hate. Everyone has a right to state their opinion. And if you don't like something and you want to say it, cool, you know, but you should also keep in mind that you stating you don't like this on anyone else, a certain way of doing your makeup or certain items of clothing would just disappear. Like, man, that might be somebody's favorite way of doing their makeup, or someone's like favorite item of clothing, and you're pooping on it, you know? What a party pooper. But anyway, that's kind of what's been on my mind after being recommended several videos about what's on trend. And I mean, I understand, like, the majority of the content that I consume on any social media platform always has to do with like makeup and fashion, because that is what I enjoy the most. No need to put someone else's jam down. Live and let live, as they say. I could have just summarized this entire video by saying, you do you, girl. Saved myself, what, like 50 minutes of ranting. Okay, I think I may have done a boo-boo here, because I started to add my bronzer before my cream blush. But I'm still gonna put it on. Hopefully it doesn't get gummy or anything. So this is the blush balm, is it? In Beverly Hills? In Beverly Hills from Merit. What is wrong with me? I also think it's valuable to say that there is no right or wrong way to do makeup or fashion. You guys, this is a very oh, I smell it. This is a very expired blush from Kosas. This is the Tropic Equinox High Intensity, and it smells like crayons, like old crayons. Okay, I'm slightly treading on too much blush territory for my liking. Let me just put a little bit of mascara on. I'm so hot, man. It's like not a video of mine if I don't complain about how hot I am. So anyway, yeah, I promise I'm gonna drop the topic already. That is all I had to say about trends. You know what I also forgot? Oh no, forgot concealer. Now that I see the slight discoloration under my eyes. Okay, so I feel like I have to put just a little bit of setting powder on, but I'm really just gonna keep it at the T-zone. I'm just adding a little bit of the Phytosurgeons, and it's also helping me take down some of that orangey blush. This is such a pretty highlight. I'm so happy to have it in my collection. Very different from anything that I've tried or anything that's in my collection. the formula is pretty stiff. You really have to work your brush into the product to be able to pick it up. When you do, it just gives the most natural glow to the skin, and it's so pretty. So now for the lips. So I'm gonna line my lips with the CoverGirl Caramel Nude. And I'm going to use two lipsticks. I'm going to use my Vegas lipstick from Kosas. And then layer 1990 from Merit over top. This has kind of been my favorite lip combo as of lately. As of late. Just gonna put a little bit of highlight up here and up here. Actually, I want to deepen my outer corner just a little more. So I'm still gonna take some of this Rare Beauty, this brown shade. Where's my brush? Not too much, just a bit. Yeah, I like it. Okay, so this is the finished look. What do we think? Did I nail the bronzy look? Dude, I'm telling you, there's always that one patch where literally always patchy there. Okay, so that is it from me. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for a little bit and hearing me rant about trends. I hope that this video will encourage you to keep following the trends that you want, even if they're considered passe or whatever. Man, do you? I want people to just live their happiest life, and if wearing makeup a certain way, wearing a certain item of clothing a certain way is going to do it for you, have at it. And don't listen to anybody who's saying that they wish that trend would go away because it just didn't work for them. Doesn't have anything to do with you or with how good it looks on you. So, okay, that's it. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. If you'd like to subscribe, please subscribe. That'd be great. I'd love to have you. Want to give this video a thumbs up? Then give it a thumbs up. And yeah, I will see you in my next one. Oh, I do have a couple new pieces of makeup that I've incorporated into my collection. So that is probably going to be the next video. Okay, love you. Bye.